Duck Creek Technologies IPO is expected to debut on the NASDAQ this Friday. That's what we're going to be talking about in this video coming up. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to my channel, Wolves of Investing. My name is Donnie Nguyen and I'm the founder of Wolves of Investing. If you're new, my channel is primarily about investing in the stock market. If you want to learn how to achieve financial freedom through investing, be sure to click on that subscribe button and notification bell if you haven't yet. In today's video, we're going to be talking about Duck Creek Technologies. This is a software as a service company that sells their products to the insurance industry. I'm going to be going over 8 things to know about Duck Creek Technologies. Be sure you stay till the end of the video to hear whether or not I plan on investing in this company. So without further ado, let's dive right in. Number 1, what is Duck Creek Technologies? Duck Creek Technologies is a leading provider of enterprise property and casualty software. One of its customers is Geico, which is a subsidiary of Berkshire Hathaway. And full disclosure, I do own shares of Berkshire Hathaway. Its Duck Creek suite includes Duck Creek Policy, Duck Creek Billing, and Duck Creek Claims. Its Duck Creek On Demand is sold via software as a service subscription model. Number 2, who are Duck Creek's customers? Duck Creek has over 150 insurance customers worldwide, including the top 5 North American carriers. Some notable customers are AIG, The Hartford, Liberty Mutual, Progressive, Geico, which I mentioned earlier, and Berkshire Hathaway Specialty Insurance. Number 3, Duck Creek is not like LMND. LMND was another insurance-related IPO that hit the markets last month. Other than being in the insurance industry, there are very few similarities between the two companies. Duck Creek is a technology company that enables property and casualty insurance companies to streamline their core processes. Duck Creek is a B2B company. LMND is a peer-to-peer property and casualty insurance company that competes with many of Duck Creek's customers, such as Geico and Progressive. LMND is a B2C company. Number 4, who are Duck Creek's competitors? Although the S-1 filing states several, Duck Creek's most notable competitors are Guidewire and Majesco. All 3 of these companies are recognized as leaders in the Gartner Magic Quadrant in 2019 for property and casualty core insurance platforms North America. Number 5, here are some key stats. In the 9 months ended May 31st, 2020, total revenues increased 24.3% from $123.4 million to $153.4 million. Subscription revenue increased 48.7% from $39.9 million to $59.4 million. So this is very impressive growth. If Duck Creek continues this growth, that will be very impressive. On the bottom line, Duck Creek had a loss of $8.5 million, which was better than the previous year when they lost $14.1 million. So losses are declining, which is a good sign. Losses decreased by 39.9%. Total cost of revenue increased 30% from $51.9 million to $67.5 million, and total operating expenses increased 11.7% from $83.2 million to $92.9 million. Now, these costs seem reasonable. If this company is a growth company in the early stages of growth, I'm looking for these costs to stabilize over the next few years. But for now, these cost increases seem reasonable to me. Free cash flow was $2.64 million, so having positive cash flow is definitely a good thing. Total liabilities to total assets is 20.1%, and current ratio is 1.00. So from these two metrics, it appears that Duck Creek is not over leveraged. Immediately after the IPO, there will be approximately 128 million shares outstanding. And if the underwriters exercise all their options, there will be approximately 131 million shares. And the market cap, based on the midpoint of $24 and no options exercised, will be approximately $3.1 billion. And the estimated 2020 revenues is $204.5 million, and that gives us a price to sales ratio estimate of 15.1. All right, so number 6, what is the TAM? Total addressable market. The TAM is estimated at approximately $6 billion in the United States and $15 billion worldwide. This leaves a lot of room for Duck Creek to grow its market share. Number 7, who is Duck Creek's CEO? Michael Jakowski has been the CEO and member of the board of directors since 2016. He was also a managing partner at Accenture. And Accenture is important because Duck Creek is currently a subsidiary of Accenture. After this IPO, Duck Creek will no longer be a subsidiary of Accenture. And prior to joining Duck Creek, Michael Jakowski held several leadership roles at Allstate. So he has a lot of experience in the insurance industry. And number 8, who are the principal stockholders? At the completion of the IPO, Duck Creek will be a controlled company. Apex will own approximately 33% of shares, and Accenture will own approximately 22%. So what does that mean? Whether or not a company is a controlled company is not necessarily good or bad. Facebook is a controlled company. Mark Zuckerberg owns a lot of the shares and a lot of the voting power. In full disclosure, I do own shares of Facebook. If you would have got into Facebook when they IPO'd and held on to your shares, you would have had an excellent return on your investment. So not necessarily good or bad, just something to be aware of if you're considering investing in this company. So here is my take on Duck Creek Technologies. I think that Duck Creek Technologies is a solid SaaS company with a lot of room to grow. It's already a market leader and has a great customer base. Its 48.7% subscription revenue growth is impressive. Its expected price to sales ratio of 15.1 will be higher than its main competitor, Guidewire. At the time I'm making this video, Guidewire sports a price to sales ratio of 12.6. I'm going to take a wait and see approach on Duck Creek Technologies. It appears to have the makings of a great business, but I'd like to see how they perform as a public company. I'm going to add Duck Creek Technologies to my watch list, and what that means is that I'll be following them in the news, listening to their earnings conference calls, and reviewing their post-IPO financial statements. So tell me what you think about Duck Creek Technologies. Drop me a line in the comment box. Be sure to leave a like on this video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.